So I'm just gonna pull a lemony snicket off the bat and say that if you're in a good mood today, if you're having a good day and you'd rather not have it ruined, don't watch this video. If you're someone who has a heavy heart and is prone to major depressive episodes, or you just want to be a happy person today, don't watch this video. Maybe click on my channel, look at some of my other videos. Don't watch this one because it's sad. This is a sad movie. It's the saddest movie I've ever seen, without question, without a single question. There's nothing redeemable about the mood of this movie. There's no resolution. There's no nothing. It's an incredible masterpiece of a film, and it is sorrowful to its core. So now that I've got that out of the way, this movie is called Grave of the Fireflies, and I made it kind of a goal in my life to watch all of the Studio Ghibli movies. I don't know if you've ever seen a Studio Ghibli movie. Forgive me, I'm stuttering. There's Spirited Away, there's Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, Princess Mononoke, the list goes on. These are incredibly beautiful movies, and most of them are for children. Like, children could watch them. It's not specifically exclusively for children because it's an incredibly beautiful piece of art that is to be admired by the masses. But most of the time, children can watch these films. That's what I was thinking going into this movie, because I didn't know anything about it before I got into it. I just knew it was a Ghibli movie and it had pretty good reviews. I wanted to watch it. Did I say what the title is called? It's called Grave of the Fireflies. And it is a period piece. It's an anti-war film. It takes place in Japan, as I believe most Ghibli movies do. And it takes place during World War II, when the Americans are sending air raids to Japan. And I don't know what town in Japan this takes place in. I don't know exactly where, but they're being hit with air raids consistently. I think it's a military base town or of some sort. And it opens with this family who's realized that they're about to get hit by an air raid. Everyone's rushing for cover, and the main characters are this boy named, what's his name? It's been a week or two since I've watched this movie, so forgive me about the details, but it's this boy, probably 16, 17, and his sister and his mother. And his father is away at war. And he and the rest of his family rush for cover. He makes it out okay. His little sister, probably 4 years old, she makes it out okay. And then they go to check on their mom at some kind of medical ward. And the boy goes in to see his mother, and he finds that she is completely bandaged up from head to toe. And I believe she doesn't have any skin left. She was set on fire by the air raid. And the depiction is utterly grotesque. It is disgusting in the most heart-wrenching way. It's incredibly difficult to watch. And so the boy sees this, and they move in with a friend of their mother or something, the boy and his daughter. And of course the boy doesn't tell, not his daughter, sorry, his little sister. The boy doesn't tell, he acts like her father throughout this movie. He doesn't tell her what happened, I think just because he can't bring himself to do it. He just can't. And over the course of the movie, she begins to find out and begins to realize. And they're moved in with like their aunt or maybe perhaps a friend of their mother's, and she's kind of unpleasant for them to deal with. They're not getting along. So they move out and they go to this kind of under cove, under a hill or something, this abandoned little structure, and they live on their own. And they're struggling for food. And around this time, the girl is taking all of the fireflies that have died from some kind of something. Perhaps it was the air raid and the heat or what have you. And she's making a grave for them. And she says to her brother, I'm making this grave for the fireflies, just like how mommy's in a grave. Yeah, our aunt told me, or the friend, or whatever she is. I feel like I'm kind of disrespecting this movie by not knowing names and relations, so I'm just gonna look into it for a second. So the boy's name is Seita, and the girl's name is Setsuko, and the rest of the characters don't have names. They aren't given names, but the lady I'm talking about is their aunt. And so, where was I? Setsuko is digging this grave for fireflies, and she says that I'm digging this grave for these fireflies, just like how mommy's in a grave. And Seita just completely breaks down, crying, cannot contain it. And around the same time, everyone's telling him that he needs to go serve in this war. He needs to help with this war. And I'm just thinking while I'm watching this kid's fucking 16 years old. And he had nothing to do with any of this. How is this the expectation? How is that the expectation from him? On top of that, he and his sister are starving. There's no food to go around because resources are so scarce because of wartime. So he's stealing from farmers and stealing from merchants and his own aunt so that he can feed his sister and I think himself. And he notices that his sister is sick. She's getting sick, and she takes her to the doctor. The doctor says it's malnutrition. She's just starving. She needs food. And the one problem I have with like the design of the movie's story is that Seita decides not to go back to his aunt's house. Like, if I was him, I probably would suck it up and swallow my pride and go back to the aunt's house so that I can get some kind of food, especially if my little sister's involved. I don't have a little sister, but if I had one and she was involved, I would suck it up. He never does that. And it apparently is a divergence between Western types of people and Eastern cultures, Western cultures and Eastern cultures. Cultures in the East are more likely to say that it is a good move that he didn't go back to his aunt to ask for forgiveness and ask to come back. They considered it an honorable move, and Western people are more likely to say it was a mistake and a stupid one, which is interesting. I have to say that I disagree with the Eastern cultures on this one, but she continues to starve, and so does he, I'm sure. And Seita gets caught stealing. He gets his ass beat. He does get let off by the cops, which is nice. But at the end of the movie, for one thing, Seita finds out that their dad has died in the war. So both of their parents are dead. And then he brings back this watermelon to Setsuko, and he finds her laying on the bed that they have in their little cove, and she has been eating buttons and coins from her little purse that she had. It's the cutest little girl, by the way. Cutest kid. And let me make this turn. She's eating buttons and coins that she had in her purse, and I think she's saying that they were fruit drops. It's a big theme of the movie that she gets so happy because she has this little box of fruit drops, candies. And then she says to her brother, she says, Seta, I have these balls of rice, and they're rocks. She's just completely losing her mind. And Seta gives her the watermelon. She takes one bite, and she passes out, and she never wakes up. And that's just about how the movie ends. And I think he digs a grave for her, buries her, and right after he finishes the burial, all these fireflies come flying up toward the moon or something like that. And yeah, that's it. And I had to sit with this for about 2 weeks until I made a video about it, because I didn't want to think about it. It obviously reminded me of the war that's been going on between America and Iran. Recently, it made me think about Israel and Palestine, and just how unnecessary all of it seems, and how dumb it seems. This isn't going to be a political video. I don't know enough about geopolitical shit to act like I know what I'm talking about. It can't be the best way to solve problems, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a way to solve a problem on a national scale. It can't be the best way. And it reminds me of the quote from, I don't know whose quote it is, I'm forgetting. I think it's a philosophical razor. And it essentially states, never mistake for malice what can be easily attributed to stupidity. And I do think there probably is a lot of evil going on when it comes to war. A lot of evil people with, however you might define that word, with evil intentions. It seems like there's also a level of stupidity to it too, a level of barbarian behavior, not knowing how to solve a certain problem beyond war, without war. But I do have a shred of hope about this whole topic, because as our world becomes more connected through the internet, really, and through language barriers collapsing, this is one of the things where AI might help us a considerable amount, although I am often very pessimistic about AI. But one of the good things about it might be the fact that AI translation systems are being developed and helping people with different languages talk to each other and communicate. We're starting to connect with the rest of the world, especially Gen Z and millennials, and I'm sure Gen Alpha will be involved in this. We're starting to understand each other more, and we're starting to be able to see both sides of a conflict. So that tells me, and from what I understand, war has been on the decline for the past century, and possibly even more. As humans become more civilized and more rational, war goes away. So I think in the grand scheme, things might be on the up and up. Hard to say. But I will never watch this movie again. I had to sort of do a Google search to see what other people thought of the movie after it was done, and people were saying it is the best movie that I will never watch again. I second that. I will never watch this movie again. And if we as humans continue to solve problems rationally more and more, hopefully movies like this won't have to be made as much as they have been in the past. I think that's all. My name is Luke. This has been Castles in the Air. Goodbye.